two people, so different and so unexpected, are going to declare their feelings for you. And a difficult choice will set your heart on fire. One of them has held a love for you in silence for years. The other sees you in a way that no one ever has. Stay until the end, because the angels are about to show you something that could change everything. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do it now. This message has come to you for a reason, dear soul. It all began on an ordinary afternoon, just like so many others. But inside your soul, something silently unusual was beginning to stir. It was as if a very thin veil was being lifted, revealing a yearning you didn't even know existed. Life, until then, had been moving along peacefully, amidst routines, dormant memories, and small moments of peace. Nothing suggested that time was about to fold in on itself, bringing forth a love that was kept, sealed, and forgotten, but never erased. It was on that day that the reunion happened. Not just any reunion, but one that seems to be written by invisible hands, with inks from another time. The face that appeared before your eyes was familiar. The eyes were too. But there was something different. The weight of the years hadn't erased the sweetness. It had only added depth to their gaze. A gaze that carried untold stories, feelings that were never confessed. And in that instant, your heart recognized not the face, but the energy. The celestial guardians had chosen that moment with precision. There was no coincidence, only synchronicity. It wasn't about reliving the past, but allowing the past to say what had been trapped in silence. The presence of this person from long ago deeply stirred everything. It was as if old dreams were rising from the dust, as if every gesture carried an echo of what could have been. But there was more. And the celestial messengers were already preparing another move. Life, in its infinite wisdom, rarely brings a single answer. It wasn't enough to confront what was. It was also necessary to know what could be. And it was then that, serenely and almost imperceptibly, someone new drew near. There was no rush in this new encounter. There was presence. This unknown being didn't need to say much to touch you deeply. Just being there was enough. Their way of listening, of smiling, of respecting silence was like a balm. A living soul who spoke neither of the future nor the past, but offered the now with an almost sacred intensity. The touch was subtle, the gaze clear, but there was something magnetic, as if your souls recognized each other without needing words. Being of light, perhaps you have already experienced something like this. When two paths cross at the same time, and each one awakens a dormant part of your heart. The past comes with force and longing, the present with sweetness and invitation, and the heart, now awakened, realizes it is not facing a common dilemma. It is facing a choice that could change everything. There is no right or wrong in this kind of choice. There is only truth. The messengers of light do not judge. They only observe lovingly. Because what is at stake is not just the love between two bodies, but the soul's reunion with itself. The decision is not just between two paths, but between two mirrors. Each of them reflects a dormant version of who you are. The reunion with the past brings the intensity of something that was denied. There is regret. There is tenderness. There is that old perfume that seems trapped in memories. There are letters that were never read, words that remained between the lines. This love did not fade. It just waited patiently for the right time. The present, however, is a sweet, almost mystical call. It doesn't make demands. It isn't heavy. It invites. It invites you to let go of control, to open your arms, to feel without fear. There is a mature, confident sensuality expressed not in the touch, but in the connection that forms in the gaze. It's the kind of vibration that gives you goosebumps with a simple gesture, a magnetism that transcends the physical and calms the soul. Dear soul, perhaps you are hearing this because something similar is happening inside you. Perhaps you are feeling this vibration that stirs everything up. Perhaps you are about to recognize two hearts, one that waited and one that has arrived. And it is here that the celestial messengers ask for something very simple. Listen to your soul. Before I continue the message, take a deep breath. Close your eyes for a few seconds. Feel what happens inside you when you think of these two presences. Your body speaks. Your energy responds. True love always vibrates with lightness, even when it is intense. Before I continue the message, write this mantra in the comments. I surrender with trust to the love that has chosen me. Now continuing the message. What the celestial guardians want you to understand at this moment is that your love story is not over, nor is it written. It is alive, vibrating, waiting for a true choice, a conscious surrender. Nothing will be taken from you. On the contrary, everything that is real will remain, and what is not will dissolve without pain, as if it had never existed. From this point on, the signs will begin to intensify. Your dreams will become more vivid. The right songs will play at the right moments. Your heart will beat faster without warning, and you will know the moment has come. Beloved being, the angels are all around you, whispering without words, just making every part of you remember that love is not something from the past or the future. It lives here, now, and it wants to be felt with all its might. Sweet soul, the celestial guardians know that there are feelings that sleep silently in the heart for years, and when they awaken, they don't knock timidly at the door. They pass through the skin, touch the soul, and confuse even what seemed certain. This awakening is a gift, but also a profound call to the truth that you may have hidden even from yourself. The reunion with someone who was once part of your path does not happen by chance. There are gazes we keep in our memory like a photograph at the bottom of a drawer. We forget them, but we don't lose them. And when that image reappears before us, there is a tremor that cannot be explained. It is as if the soul says, I remember. I never stopped feeling. This person who returns, with more mature eyes and firmer steps, brings in their voice the confession that was never spoken. There is a different courage now, a sincere desire to reclaim what was lost to fear, to immaturity, or simply to time. There are no exaggerated promises, only presence, a silent request to be seen again, not with the eyes of yesterday, but with the maturity of today. But at the same time as the past reemerges, the present grows stronger. This new presence that appeared with serenity, light in their eyes, and an almost startling magnetism also touches parts of the soul that were silent. There is a warmth in the air when your eyes meet, a subtle vibration that sends a shiver down your spine without a touch. It is a kind of connection that cannot be explained by logic, only by feelings. The body responds, the spirit calms. There is chemistry, but there is also peace. The messengers of light are creating this scenario not as a test, but as a mirror. Each person who now appears before you represents something inside you that needs to be looked at with attention. The past represents longing, the what if, the chance to close a chapter with truth. The present represents rebirth, freshness, the freedom to love without weight. Dear soul, your heart is being called to choose wisely, but it is not about choosing between two loves. It is about choosing what is most in tune with who you have become, what makes you vibrate most inside, what gives you back the lightness you may have lost along the way. This choice does not demand haste. It demands presence. The angels whisper that the answer lies in how you feel next to each one. There is one that takes you to the past with intensity, the scent of memory, and the embrace of longing. And there is another that invites you to open your eyes to the now, with a touch that ignites, a gaze that calms, a voice that guides without controlling. Many feel guilt at this moment. They blame themselves for feeling for two, for doubting, for not knowing how to decide. But guilt is unnecessary when the heart is acting with sincerity. The celestial guardians only ask that you deny nothing, neither what you feel nor what you desire. True love does not demand certainty. It respects the time it takes to feel. Beloved being, you are closer to the answer than you imagine. With every encounter, the universe sends you clues. With every touch, every conversation, your body shows you with whom it expands, with whom it shrinks. The truth resides in that feeling. Now, before we continue this message, write in the comments, 111, I choose the love that makes me vibrate, to claim it. If this message is touching your heart, consider donating by clicking the thanks button. This helps to keep this current of light and love that the angels are creating here alive. Observe the signs around you. You might notice that person's scent, even when they are not nearby. You will hear their name in random conversations. You will feel a vibration in your chest when you remember their touch. These are signs. They are not coincidences. They are the celestial messengers speaking to you through feeling. Be honest with your soul. Which of the two awakens your most alive side? Which one inspires you to be who you are without fear? Which one makes you want to care, to desire, to smile with your whole body? Because love is not just what moves you emotionally. It is what drives you. True love sets us alight from within, and that flame needs to be recognized. Dear soul, you are living something rare. Two hearts opening at the same time, one that has known you forever, another that recognizes you without even knowing why, one that waited, another that arrived. The angels say, do not rush, just feel, because the truth is already inside you. Being of light, time does not erase what was true. It only keeps it, wraps it in silence, and gives it back at the right moment. That is exactly what is happening now. The universe, in tune with the celestial messengers, has created this intersection of feelings to remind you that love is never lost. It only transforms, until it is ready to be lived to the fullest. There is an invisible movement happening inside you, something that goes beyond reason, a warmth that rises slowly in your chest, a longing that comes from places you didn't even know existed, and a desire to be touched, not just on the skin, but in the soul. This is the clearest sign that love is present. It vibrates, it pulses, it invites. It activates everything that was dormant and brings back the feeling of being alive. The connection with the past is intense, yes, because it was marked by a deep absence, by an interrupted feeling. But now there is a new gaze, more serene, more courageous. There is a request for forgiveness disguised as a hug. There are words trying to come out that are still lost between fear and regret. But the present speaks, the body tells, the eyes confess, and at the same time, the new love reveals itself in small gestures, a touch on the shoulder that gives you chills, a compliment said with truth, a presence that makes no demands. This new soul has an ancient wisdom. It doesn't try to convince you of anything. It just offers you space to be. And that, beloved being, is profoundly sensual. The sensuality of maturity doesn't shout, it doesn't beg. It whispers with presence. It expresses itself in the way coffee is made, in how a gaze is held for more than 3 seconds, in how one breathes more deeply when smelling the scent of the one they love. And the angels celebrate this, because love, when it matures, becomes both a temple and a desire. The guardians of light are guiding you to this state of clarity. They do not want you to choose on impulse, nor to flee from the intensity of feeling. They want you to look with truth, with courage, with your whole body. Before I continue the message, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. This gesture ensures you will always receive the celestial messages from the angels. Each presence brings a different energy. The old love activates your memory, your roots, your unfulfilled promises. The new love activates your now, your breath, your desire, and both are real. But only one brings you closer to who you are today. Do not be confused by what seems safe, nor give yourself over to what only fills a void. True love doesn't fill spaces. It expands them. It invites you to grow, to see yourself with kinder eyes, to feel pleasure in being exactly as you are. There is a gaze in this new love that sees your shadows without fear, that accepts your marks, your stories, your silences. And there is a touch that does not hold you, but anchors you. A touch that does not demand a promise, only surrender. This kind of presence is rare, and the celestial messengers are telling you. When love looks at you with truth, it does not go unnoticed. It enters through the skin and settles in the soul. The angels send a special sign, in the form of a number. They say your lucky number is 1. Write in the comments, my lucky number is 1. I send protection to those I love dearly. If this message is resonating with you, please support us, donate by clicking the thanks button, and help spread this message to others who need it. Allow yourself to observe both paths with an open heart. Observe how you feel when you remember the past, and then pay attention to what you feel when you are with this new being. Which energy calms you? Which one quickens your pulse? Which one truly embraces you? Love should not be an emotional prison, but an altar of surrender. And this altar can only be built with mutual presence, with the sincere desire to care for one another, to shed our masks, to touch and be touched without fear. Being of light, you deserve a love that looks at you with a thirst for your soul, that desires you not just for what you were, but for what you are becoming. A love that understands your pain, but celebrates your joy. That does not run from intensity, but knows how to breathe along with it. The choice is approaching, and the signs do not stop coming. Stay alert, for the soul always knows where its home is. Dear soul, there are moments when life gently curves to reveal truths that were hidden, not because they weren't important, but because you were not yet ready to feel them completely. Now the right time has come. The veil is being lifted, and what is revealed behind it is not just a choice between two paths, but the profound meeting between who you are and who you have always longed to be. Each presence that appears in your life at this moment is deeply connected to your inner story. One represents the love you offered in the past without being fully received. It is the energy of waiting, of charged silence, of the gaze that desired more but held back. The other presence is a loving invitation to the now, a love that doesn't demand explanations, that doesn't require you to erase the past, but simply asks you to be whole in the present. This new feeling, as subtle as it is strong, is accompanied by a presence that knows how to listen, that notices your most discreet gestures, and respects your silences. And most surprisingly, this new soul sees your sensuality without vulgarity. It feels your energy with depth, as if every touch, even those not made, were promises of care. There is desire, yes, but a desire that does not invade you, a desire that welcomes you. The celestial messengers want to remind you of something essential. True love does not ask for masks. It sees everything, including what you are afraid to show, and still chooses to stay. There is an infinite beauty in a surrender that does not need to be perfect. And love, in its purest form, is exactly that. An acceptance of the imperfect is sacred. Beloved being, the paths are being lit, little by little. Each encounter, each exchange of glances, each shared silence, is a beacon. And now, the celestial guardians ask for your courage to make a very special inner move. To release, to forgive, to make space. Write in the comments a list of names of people you would like to forgive, including yourself. Visualize each one and say, I forgive you and I release you. Feel the power that forgiveness brings. Try to repeat this practice daily. By practicing the act of forgiving daily, you release anxiety and calm your heart. Forgiving is not forgetting, nor is it justifying what hurt. It is simply accepting that the pain existed, but it no longer needs to hold you. And this also applies to you. How many times have you blamed yourself for loving too much? For waiting too long? For not saying what you felt when you had the chance? The angels tell you, forgive yourself with the same tenderness you would forgive someone you love deeply. This forgiveness is the key that opens the doors to the new. It is what clears the energetic field so that true love can find space to flourish. And that is why this new love has appeared now. Because your soul began, even without realizing it, to set itself free. You are vibrating differently, higher, lighter. And those who vibrate like this attract presences that match this frequency. Dear soul, the sensuality of this new moment is not just in the long gazes or the closeness of your bodies. It is in the intimacy built with affection. It is in the conversations that seem eternal, in the silences that are not heavy, in the small gestures of care that arise effortlessly. It is in the way you allow yourself to be vulnerable, and yet feel safe. The angels want you to understand that mature love doesn't have to be lukewarm. It can be fiery, intense, and all-consuming, but with respect. It can make you tremble with desire, and at the same time make you sigh with calm. This is the rare combination that is being offered to you now. And even though the past touches you with tenderness, even though there is affection and strong memories, what is being born now comes with a different strength, not from someone who promises worlds, but from someone who offers presence, Not from someone who says, "I will change," but from someone who already is what you need. The guardians of light ask you to trust, to listen to what your body says when this new presence draws near. Observe what you feel when you exchange glances, when your skin almost touches, when the other's voice reaches you. The shiver, the peace, the warmth in your chest, all these are answers sent by the soul. And these answers never lie. Being of light, this is one of the most beautiful moments your life has ever known. The soul is being led by invisible hands to a portal of deep and true love. Allow yourself to pass through it without fear. Beloved soul, what is being born now inside your heart is not just a feeling. It is a memory of what was always there, but perhaps was forgotten due to life's demands, old pains, and the choices that had to be made. Now, with softer eyes and a more attentive soul, you can feel something new vibrating within you, something the celestial messengers have been preparing with care. This love that waits in silence, that returns with timid words and longing in its eyes, carries truths that may never have been spoken. There is respect, there is tenderness, there is the kind of affection that only time can refine, but there is also something you can no longer ignore: how much you have changed, how differently your energy vibrates today, how your soul no longer accepts living half of anything. And then comes the new, with serene intensity, with silent presence, with a magnetism that requires no explanation. It is simply felt. This new connection does not demand from you, does not pressure you, does not reopen old wounds. It simply presents itself as a possibility of peace, of desire, of freedom. It is a love that does not beg for attention, but invites full surrender. And that, being of light, is rare. There is a very special sensuality in this moment you are living. It does not shout, it pulses. It is in the details, in the way the other's voice resonates within you, in the way your skin warms even with distance, in the silences that do not bother, but comfort. It is this kind of vibration that the guardians of light want you to notice because it speaks more than any word. And perhaps, for the first time, you are allowing yourself to desire again. Not in a hurry, not with fear, but with your whole body. The soul asks for this, for someone who not only admires you, but who desires to walk with you hand in hand, eye to eye, body with body, and soul with soul. Beloved being, the choice that approaches is not about rejecting an old love, nor about idealizing the new. It is about recognizing which of them can walk beside you now, with truth, with harmony, with depth. It is no longer about unresolved stories, but about experiences that make you grow, flourish, and breathe a sigh of relief. And at this point on the journey, the angels whisper, "The love that is worthwhile is the one that arrives and stays without you having to beg to be seen. The one that respects your pauses, that desires your touch, that values your surrender. The one that celebrates your presence, but also embraces your absences. If the longing for what was insists on knocking at your door, look at it with affection, but do not hold on. Not every reunion needs to be a new beginning. Sometimes it just comes to remind you of how much you have grown, how ready you are to live something that previously had no space within you. And if the new still seems uncertain, remember that the soul recognizes what is true even before the heart understands. When you feel light next to someone, when their touch warms without suffocating, when their gaze undresses you with respect, that is the place where love can dwell. You deserve more than beautiful words. You deserve real presence. You deserve to be desired with truth, with maturity, with tenderness and fire at the same time. You deserve someone who inspires you to be even more yourself, without fear, without hiding, without halves. The celestial messengers are around you now, whispering intuitions, awakening sensations, guiding you through the choices your soul is ready to make. And even if doubt still exists, it will dissolve in the face of the clarity that true love brings. Observe the signs. Observe what vibrates inside you. Notice how your energy responds when you approach each one. Your body speaks. Your soul lights up. The truth does not impose itself. It simply reveals itself soft, constant, inevitable. Dear soul, the love that waited in silence is before you. But now, Silence must give way to courage. The courage to live what calls to you. The courage to make space for the new. The courage to follow the path that makes your soul shine brightest. Dear soul, there are moments when everything around us seems to conspire for a deeper awakening. The days become more intense, thoughts more sensitive, life's touch more intimate. It is not a coincidence. It is the response from the celestial messengers to what your soul is ready to feel. You have reached a point where it is no longer possible to live by halves, nor to ignore the calls of the heart. What is at stake now is your most intimate, most sensitive, most beautiful truth. The old love is there, silent, waiting for a chance. There is a discreet regret in their eyes, a respect that perhaps was not visible before, a late surrender that sincerely tries to rebuild bridges. And yes, there is beauty in that. There is history. There is memory. But what the guardians of light want you to notice is, does this old love recognize the current version of your soul? Or is it still seeking the image of who you once were? The new presence, on the other hand, does not look for you in the past. It sees you now, with clear eyes, with calm desire, with silent admiration. It is someone who approaches not with promises, but with presence. And when that presence is near, even without a touch, the body responds. Goosebumps, held breath, a warmth in the center of your chest. This is sensory. This is subtle. This is truth. This energy you are feeling is more than attraction. It is soul harmony. And the celestial messengers celebrate this invisible dance between two beings who recognize each other beyond the skin. There is respect in the desire. There is care in the gaze. There is a silence that is not heavy but communicates. All of this is love in its most mature form. Beloved being, the time has come for you to allow yourself to desire, not out of need, not in a rush, but because love also expresses itself through the body. Because sensuality is not the opposite of spirituality. It is in fact its purest extension. When the body responds with joy, it is because the soul first said yes. Allow yourself to be touched. Allow yourself to desire to be looked at with depth. Allow yourself to feel proud of your body, your history, your now. There is beauty in every mark. There is charm in every line. There is life pulsing in every curve of your presence. The guardians of light tell you, you are worthy of living a whole love, a love that kisses you with its eyes, that embraces you with words, that discovers you with gestures, a love that awakens desire without guilt, that celebrates your existence with respect and warmth. And in this exact moment, two paths remain open. One brings familiarity, a known territory, gestures that were once routine. The other brings novelty, a pleasant challenge, butterflies in your stomach that make you smile. And there is no right or wrong choice. There is only the one that brings you closer to your inner light. Observe the signs, the dreams, the sensations. The answer is already being sent by the celestial messengers. It arrives in the form of a song, of unexpected encounters, of words repeated by different people, of memories that surface from nowhere. Everything speaks, everything points, everything vibrates. Share this video with two dear people who need this message of hope and faith. Let's build a chain of love and mutual support together. Leave a comment with a prayer for your guardian angel. Dear soul, you are being guided by invisible hands that know your deepest desires. You are not alone in this choice. Every step you take with sincerity is accompanied by blessings. And whatever you decide, may it be with a full heart, not because of the other's absence, but because of your own presence. This is the kind of love the messengers of light wish for you to experience. The kind that pulses with tenderness and desire. The kind that respects your history but vibrates with your present. The kind that doesn't demand you to be something you're not, but invites you to be even more of who you have always been. You are close, very close, and when you decide, may it be with your eyes closed and your soul open. Being of light, there comes a point on the path where the heart already knows. Even if the mind still insists on weighing possibilities, even if reason tries to justify fears or postpone decisions, there is a place inside you where everything is already clear. The celestial messengers know this place. It is where the soul whispers what the lips have not yet dared to say. And at this point, there is only one truth. You are ready to live a whole love. The reunion with the one who loved you in silence for so long brought dormant memories to the surface. It touched places no one else has touched. It opened doors that were closed. But now look closely. Does this love that waited so long still know how to see you as you are? Or is it trapped in the image of who you once were? And what about the new presence? This someone who looks at you as if they see everything, your light and your shadows, and yet they remain? This soul that does not bind you but inspires you, that doesn't promise a forever, but delivers a here I am with such intensity that time seems to lose importance. This presence demands nothing of you, but awakens everything. The angels do not want you to choose out of fear of loneliness, nor out of attachment to history. They want you to choose out of love, a love that awakens your body with desire, your soul with peace, and your spirit with joy. A love that comforts you on good days and on quiet ones, that sees you as a whole person, not as a piece of a memory or a future promise. Dear soul, you have been shaped by everything you have lived, including your pains. But now, you are being invited to experience something that goes beyond healing. You are being called to savor the present, to feel proud of what you have built within yourself, to allow someone to see your emotional nakedness without fear, without guilt, without shame. Allow love to arrive as it should be, without disguises, without masks, without scripts. Just truth. Allow the touch to come with intention. Let the gaze last for more than a second. Let the scent of skin remain in your memory for longer than the physical presence. Allow love to also be desire, also skin, also warmth. Because to love is also this, to live the body with soul, to feel the soul with the body. The messengers of light are whispering this now deep in your heart. You deserve to be looked at with both hunger and tenderness at the same time. You deserve to be touched with care and with surrender. You deserve someone who wants to explore not only what is on the outside, but everything that pulses within. And now, with the eyes of your soul open, you already know the answer. You do not need more signs. You do not need guarantees. You just need to trust this feeling that grows without effort. The choice has been made in the silence of your heart. All that remains now is to say yes. Yes to the love that sees you. Yes to the energy that ignites you. Yes to the soul that vibrates with yours. If this message resonated with you and your situation, write in the comments, "I choose to live a whole love." Come back whenever you feel a longing. Subscribe to the channel. Every day the angels send messages of light. You are not alone! Thank you, and see you in the next video.